Today is Wednesday, August 4th, and today I did some clean and jerk work, starting with some power jerks, did some hang power cleans afterwards, and then some clean pulls, as well as rows, chest-supported dumbbell rows, and overhead walks. Starting with these power jerks, really just trying to address the main issue of my jerks, which is the hip movement, the lateral hip movement, and coupled with that, knee valgus. And the few weeks leading into my meet, the main thing I was thinking about was keeping my knees out. And one thing that was pointed out to me today was that it's a lot more important that the knees stay out when I push. So a lot of these, I'm thinking about, okay, knees out, but I'm only maintaining that thought for the way down, and then I go into valgus when I push. And so with that, it's obviously more important that the knees are out when I push, not just on the way down. And so those first two sets, the first rep was not good, and then the second rep was always better. And so I feel like it was because I would do the first rep wrong, and then I would know how to fix it for the second rep. And so for that third set and this fourth set right here, fourth set being sort of impromptu, I was only prescribed 3x2. But for that third set, you saw me do a little dip before the first rep. And so the idea there was to get a feel for that dip before I start the first jerk. And then if I do it incorrectly, then I know how to fix it for that first rep without having to sort of compromise the first rep and fix it on the second rep. But the third set, the first rep wasn't really that much better. And I feel like it's because just isolating the dip, I can do well, but when I put it together with the jerk, for some reason, I go about it differently. Not intentionally, but that's just how it ends up being. And then the reason I did that fourth set was because Aaron suggested that one thing I should think about is just getting my base a little bit wider to the side. So if I think about moving my feet to the side and getting my stance a little bit wider, it might help with the knee valgus or preventing the knee valgus. And so that's the reason why I did another set. And working with only around 90 kilos, 200, it's not like doing an extra set is going to kill me. And so I went ahead and did a fourth set, and it did help, I think, but knee valgus was still happening. And so I think that's something that will help moving forward, but I still wasn't able to execute in the way that I wanted to. But in any case, making progress. So whether that's whether that means just knowing what to think about, or just the small amount of improvement that I had today, progress is progress. But anyways, and then I moved on to hang power cleans. With these hang power cleans, what I'm really focusing on is staying over the bar for as long as possible. And then coupled with that is making sure I'm not starting my extension too early and being a little bit more patient with that. And so those sort of go hand in hand. And obviously, 200, again, around 90 kilos is not very much. And so I think that honestly kind of screwed me up a little bit too. Like just the mentality that this weight is trivial, because I found myself focusing too much on positioning and not actually extending. And so it doesn't really matter whether or not I get to that right position where I get the timing right, and I'm staying over the bar longer if I don't actually extend. And so I think this mindset of, okay, 200 is really light, I should just, I should be fine. It's light. I think that kind of made me a little bit lazy with actually putting my intent and mental energy into the things that I should always normally do, no matter what the weight is. But yeah, I mean, in any case, I think I get some pretty good practice in with just thinking about staying over the bar longer, and waiting a little bit until I extend. And the same thing is, those two things are also what I'm thinking about with these clean pulls. And what you'll notice in some of these clean pulls is that the first reps where I start from the ground, I have a tendency to get my weight shifted a little bit behind, as opposed to staying over the bar. But then on these floating pulls where I am not starting with the bar on the ground, but rather I'm lowering myself into position, I do a lot better of a job of staying over longer, which is to be expected given that I'm going from the standing position and lowering myself into the position that I need. I sort of get a feel for what the position should be as I'm going down, and then just follow that exact positioning back up. And so, yeah, a lot of today was just focusing on that. And it's kind of a good thing, I think, that the things that I'm focusing on here are aligned with what I'm trying to focus on for the snatch, just staying over and getting the timing of my extension correct. But yeah, overall, pretty solid day of work.